The world of flight sim hardware is ever expanding and frankly can be incredibly hard to keep up with. If you're wondering what's on the horizon for this incredible hobby, you have come to the right video. From relatively affordable force feedback controls slowly slipping their way onto the market to airline specific hardware. In today's video, I'll be covering the latest and greatest additions and what's around the corner. So if you haven't done already, do be sure to subscribe to stay up to date, as only a fraction of you are, to keep up with everything from the flight sim world. Now for a very quick word from today's video sponsor. Today's video has very kindly been sponsored by our friends over at FS Academy, who want me to bring to your attention their new training pack for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 FS Academy's Interceptor. A great way to develop your instrument skills, which are applicable from flying in light aircraft all the way up to the big airliners. Interceptor contains 30 all-new IFR lessons created by a real-life airline captain, from the basics of VOR navigation to the modern-day glass cockpit. I've always been a big fan of FS Academy's products, as long-time viewers of the channel will know, so it's an honour to have them sponsor today's video. FS Academy's Interceptor is available from the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 marketplace right now. Now, market leaders Honeycomb have been a bit quiet lately after some rather significant fallout concerning their business leadership and product lead times, as well as failed fulfillment. But it looks like behind the scenes they've been busy working on some new products. Now, sadly, as I said, Honeycomb's track record is mixed. In my opinion, their products are superb, just from first-hand experience. But as a business, from that point of view, the last few years have been slightly troublesome. Nevertheless, at this year's FS Weekend in the Netherlands, the Honeycomb team announced a brand new light lineup, promising hardware of the same quality we all know and love, but with scaled down versions of their Alpha flight controls and Bravo throttle quadrant. Now, as you'll see on the screen, you'll notice an absence of some of the buttons on the Yoke, a total reconfiguration when it comes to the throttle quadrant. It now only includes 4 axes and no autopilot panel or warning lights on there. Now, with these being scaled back as part of their light lineup, you'd imagine the aim is to make these a bit cheaper, somewhat less expensive. However, with the turbulent markets at the moment, I'm not necessarily surprised we haven't seen a price just yet, but I think that will be the selling point if that is what they're going for. And that's something I'm also incredibly excited for from the Honeycomb team, especially as a private pilot who flies Cessnas, is that upcoming Sierra TPM module, which I tried out first-hand at FS Weekend, as I said, in the Netherlands, with the Cessna style vernier poles for the throttle prop mixture and even a parking brake on there. It looks and feels absolutely amazing. Sadly, no info just yet on price or release date, but from what I saw and felt, it's certainly something to look forward to. Once again, with the build quality, their same high standards. I really didn't notice anything wrong with this product, it just worked, and hopefully it will be at a similar price point to that other gear. Now for the next part, and let's brace yourself here because the conversation can get unnaturally heated for flight simulation. Nicky, who was the founder of the aforementioned Honeycomb, I believe he left after losing control of the business due to various issues, which is too much legalese for this video, but with his continuing passion for flight simulation and aviation, it looks like he couldn't stay away from the industry for long, and therefore has set up a brand new business, Meridian GMT. Now, at FS Weekend 2025, Nicky Reppening, his full name, officially introduced the first wave of products under his new brand, with a strong focus on the modular building experience, allowing you to swap stuff out to suit your simming experience. Now, Meridian GMT's debut lineup consists of the Sierra Plus Yoke, confusion with the Sierra TPM, as I spoke about, but they're very different products, the Tango Plus Throttle, the X-Ray flight controller for, of course, Xbox, and all of these products will supposedly be available to try out at FS Expo in America in June 2025. Now do note, these products aren't on the market yet, and by the looks of it we've only seen renders, so take of it what you will. Now the Sierra Plus Yoke, I don't need to tell you what it looks like. It does look somewhat similar to the Honeycomb product, with 50% more travel when it comes to the pitch and a 14-bit Hall effect sensors for improved accuracy compared to, well, I imagine, the Honeycomb Yoke. It includes haptic feedback, so it means you'll feel the stall warnings and when you touch your aircraft down. Hopefully that varies depending on what surface you're on. Plus magnetic front panels, which, as I said, you can swap out and customise, so you can jump between GA and airliners without fuss. That's definitely a unique selling point. Now the Tango Plus throttle, again, similar setup. It brings a swappable quadrant system, so you can go from GA to Boeing or Airbus with ease using a magnetic panel system. It's got a built-in autopilot and a comm panel, as well as LCD annunciators to show you aircraft alerts. A new feature is an NFC-based auto config system. It sounds really cool. Basically, you just tap a card or something and your SIM profile switches instantly, which I think sounds like an amazing feature. And as I said, there's a brand new Xbox controller on the way, but all of these products look amazing. But to remind you, they are all concepts. They're yet to be seen, so I would hold your breath for now. Now let's talk about Windwing. If you've been around the sim world recently, you'll know they've been making absolutely serious waves throughout the community. Originally focusing on military gear, they're now fully immersed in the civilian side at FS Weekend. This year, Windwing showed off a ton of new products, showcasing them off at their very busy stand as well as at a talk on both the days, I believe. Now starting with their upcoming Ursa Minor Airbus style controls, we have the airline throttle, which features a metal build, authentic detents, and they've actually designed it really well. It's very similar to the real thing. I tried it out myself and it was very impressive. It comes in at an incredible price, as you can see on the screen. There's also the Ursa Minor airline throttle panel, which adds the flap and spoiler controls, amongst others, on the back of the throttle. As you've seen, incredibly competitive pricing. Boeing fans, don't you worry, their MIP series has your back. Leading on from the release of all their FMCs last year, they're now going ahead and introducing a realistic Boeing style MCP with their MIP PAP-free panel. Bit of a tongue twister there, but it's their take on the Boeing autopilot panel with full backlighting, and of course it doesn't just work with the 737 but fully compatible with the wide bodies as well. Want to take it a step further and you can upgrade for a small fee to their mag panel, and this features a magnetic auto throttle switch that will click back into place as it does on the real plane. There's also some rather nice military additions to be expected, continuing their lineup, but on the force feedback side, this is where it gets interesting. They've launched their Cyber Taurus series. This is nothing short of impressive. It was the showstopper at the Netherlands, it blew everyone away, but for the comparatively small price of $420 US, you can get the Cyber Taurus joystick base, which is a force feedback, belt drive powered joystick base with 20 Newton meters of torque. Of course, this is just the base, but it connects up to a variety of controls to suit your flying experience. They haven't showcased all of the joysticks yet, but this is more focusing on the force feedback aspect. If you want to take it even further, there's an enhanced force feedback base, their Taurus D base, which has an incredible amount of torque, outputting 60 Newton meters, so it's a real fight. There's also their force feedback rudder pedals on the way at the price of $800 US, which, yes, is a lot of money, definitely not to be sniffed at, but for what you're getting, it is worlds away from similar products in the past. They've also teased their showstopper, the Cyber Taurus Yoke, which of course is a Boeing style yoke with force feedback, featuring electronic load control. Again, I mean, I don't really need to talk about it. I've never seen this level of detail in a sim yoke on the consumer market. It looks mad. Still limited details at the moment, so this is one to wait for. Tried it out in person, it is an absolute unit, but no details on price or release for this one just yet. But sticking with the yoke theme, in the last few weeks, Moser have released their AY210 yoke. The base and the yoke handles come separately, but you can get this now from the shop as linked below. I presume they're separate so you can swap them about. There's only one type of yoke handle available at the moment, but hopefully they'll expand their lineup. With the base, it's a full steel construction and it's composite. For the yoke, the pricing is superb. Once again, certainly not pocket money, but for something that will immerse you into your flights, it is a great investment. Just be warned, by the looks of it, you will need a heavy-duty desk. Last but definitely not least, with Virpil, known for their high-end modular military sim gear, Virpil have now officially entered the civilian sim market with their upcoming advanced flight yoke. Announced late last year, but to remind you, this thing looks stunning. Metal build, contactless sensors, swappable handles so you can go from GA to airliners or something a bit more custom. Importantly, it is not force feedback, but it is certainly built for precision and versatility. With Virpil's usual attention to detail, their products are very good. It's quite an obvious part of their push into the civilian market. For the price of around $500 US, I think it plugs the gap between the force feedback options, which are a bit more expensive, and some of the low cost options. So it could be a go-to yoke for serious simmers that just want to build a bit of a premium setup. So regardless of what you're after, whether that be general aviation, a modular airliner build, or indeed a fully set up Airbus rig, the future of flight simulation is looking incredibly bright. Most of these products I imagine we'll see in some iteration this year. Let me know down in the comments what you're looking forward to most. Is it the modular madness from Windwing, the return of Nikki with Meridian GMT, or is it the Cyber Taurus yoke? I know what one I'm looking forward to. On that note, that is the end of the video. It's been a long one, it's been quite in depth, so I hope you can walk away with your head filled with information about flight sim hardware. I hope you've enjoyed, and make sure you subscribe so you do not miss anything from the sim world. Until next time, blue skies, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.